In this video, I'm going to show you how to write a blog post from start to finish. You're going to learn the exact same techniques that we use to write the blog posts on our brand new fitness website, and you can see the traffic stats from that fitness website just above me. The page views have been growing steadily, and we've had over 170,000 page views to our blog in the last 8 months. And you can see that just one of these blog posts has had over 47,000 page views. So I'm going to show you the exact formula that we used to write blog posts like this. Alright, so in this video, I'm going to show you my process for how I would write a blog post step by step. Let's say, for example, that I'm considering writing an article about quiet keyboards or silent keyboards. Now, the first thing that I would do, so step number 1 in the whole process, is to make sure that you have done a good job with your keyword research and keyword selection. You have to make sure that the keyword difficulty of your keyword matches the strength of your domain. If your domain is fairly new, if your blog is fairly new, then you will want to choose a keyword with a keyword difficulty of maximum 7 according to Ahrefs. The lower, the better. In this example, as you can see, this top result, quiet mechanical keyboard, has got a keyword difficulty of 2. So that looks pretty good because, as you can see, my domain has got a domain rank of 17 according to Ahrefs. And if we look at the other websites that are ranking on page 1 for quiet mechanical keyboard, so just by opening this SERP option here, when I look at them in detail, I will notice that this DR domain rank of a lot of other sites is quite low. There is a website with 21, so I can easily compete with them. There is another website with domain rank of just 4, so I can easily compete with them as well. So this tells me that I've got a really good chance of being ranked on page 1 if there are other weak sites on this same page. Besides that, Ahrefs is actually quite good in determining keyword difficulty, and they're telling me that it's 2. So this is a tick for me, and quiet mechanical keyboard seems like a really excellent keyword for me to go for. Besides, they've also got 4.1 thousand in search volume just for the main keyword, and also that means that they'll get lots of keyword searches for related keywords such as silent mechanical keyboard and so on. So as a general guideline, make sure that for a new website you are targeting keyword difficulty under 7 according to Ahrefs, and also that on the front page, ideally you want to see at least some domains where domain rank is approximately same as yours. A little bit higher is okay, but you'd want to see some that are hopefully lower than your current domain rank as well. If you currently have 0 domain rank, that's cool too. Just make sure that on the front page, there are some sites that have domain rank of 20, 22, 23 or less. Step number 2 is to determine the required length for your blog post. Should you be writing 500 words? Should you be writing 2,000 words or 5,000 words? How do you know? Well, the way to find out is to look how long the content is for other sites that are ranking on page 1 and write an article that is longer than most of your other competitors. In order to calculate the length of each of these blog posts, you simply open each one in a new tab and calculate how many words there is. You can use a Chrome extension such as Word Counter, this one here, to easily calculate the length of the posts. If you select all of this content on the blog post and then right click and then use this extension, count these words, it'll tell you how many words there are. This one we can see is 1,689 words. I have analyzed all of these articles and I know that I need to write approximately 2,000 words because that seems to be the longest article that all of my competitors have written. So I'm going to be aiming for 2,000 words with this particular blog post. Step 3 in writing your blog post is to write a blog post title, or some people also call it the headline. To do that, usually I take this keyword that's going to be the main keyword that I'm looking to target, and I look at the Google results page 1 to see what kind of titles my competitors have used, and then I try to create something that is at least as good as the titles that my competitors have put out there. After reviewing the titles or the headlines on page 1 that my competitors have, I noticed that a lot of them have put in best into the title. So I'm going to do something similar as well. If I jump back into Ahrefs, I can see that quiet mechanical keyboard, best quiet mechanical keyboard are related terms. Best quiet mechanical keyboard also has a good amount of search volume. So for now, I'm going to go with best quiet mechanical keyboard, and I'm going to put ultimate guide in the brackets to make sure that people know that this is a high quality, high authority resource that will really help them, and that will help me get more clicks when people see my blog post title in Google search results. Generally, by looking at the titles of the top 10 results of your competitors, you can figure out what kind of titles the people are using and why they might be using them. And your job is to just make sure that yours is as good or hopefully better, catchier title, but that you also have your main keyword in the title. This is very important because this is going to help you actually rank in Google, because Google needs that in the title to understand what your article is primarily about. Step 4 is to include some subtopics so that we can start building the outline of the article. To do that, head over into the keyword research tool of your choice and take this main keyword, quiet mechanical keyboard, and enter that and choose an option that will allow you to pull out all of the related terms for that. So here we are getting some suggestions: quiet mechanical keyboard switches, best quiet mechanical keyboard, best, okay, so this one is quiet mechanical gaming keyboard. So this sounds like a potential subtopic because there could be gaming keyboards or working keyboards, etc. So let's copy and paste that. Let's open a simple notepad document just like this, and let's start building this outline. So I'm going to copy and paste that. Then let's take a look at this quiet mechanical keyboard for work. So let's paste that in. What else do we have? So another one that has caught my attention is quiet mechanical keyboard for office. It's kind of the same. For work and office is almost the same thing. So what I would probably do is change that into quiet mechanical keyboard for work and office. And the reason, guys, just so that you understand the reason why we are doing this, why we are starting to build a list of these subtopics, is that our main article is going to be on quiet mechanical keyboards. But what we want to have is we want to have some subheadings within our article. And that's going to allow us to capture all of this long tail traffic that has got all of these variations. Some people will be searching for quiet mechanical keyboard for work, for office, for other things, and we want to capture them all for gaming, etc. And we want to capture all of that into our blog post so that we can get those visitors. Step 5 is to also get some additional subheadings for our blog post, and I do that by typing into Google the actual search term and then scrolling all the way down, and Google will always give you this option here: searches related to quiet mechanical keyboards. So these are the keyword terms that are topically related to the search that you're trying to rank for, but this is the stuff that generally the keyword research tools will not give you. So it's a way for you to get additional related keyword search terms, and Google thinks that they're relevant, so it's probably a good idea for you to include them. So based on that, it's probably a good idea for us to include these 3 mechanical keyboards. So I'm going to copy and paste the whole lot in here and then do all the editing here. So let's include this Matthias Quiet Pro, this mechanical keyboard, this mechanical keyboard. This one is kind of redundant because we're already talking about it. Silent keyboard, Amazon. I'm not going to include it. It's just not a very targeted search because we're not an Amazon website. This Cherry MX silent keyboard sounds like a good one to review, and Logitech G513 mechanical keyboard also sounds like a pretty good one to include into our article. Step 6 is to conduct some competitor research to see what kind of information they have included into their blog posts. So that can also give you some ideas for what to include into your sub-paragraphs and subheadings into your article. So if I look at the number 1 result for quiet mechanical keyboard, it's this website, Quiet Home Lab. By the way, this seems like a pretty awesome niche for quiet homes, I think that it would be getting pretty good traffic, this website. Anyway, when I look at the way that they've written their article, I can see that they have an introduction here. So this is a complete buying guide. And then they've also included some information on lifespan, size and layout. So these are the criteria that they're going to be talking about when they're reviewing each of these mechanical keyboards. And then I can see that this is the actual list of keyboards that they have included into their article. Now, of course, as you will probably notice, each one of these is actually an Amazon link, and it's an affiliate link. So as thousands of people come to this page, whenever they click through and buy something through this link, the owner of this website, Quiet Home Lab, will be making pretty cool commissions. So this website, Quiet Home Lab, is ranking #1. So probably they have done something right, and I can borrow some ideas from their article. Now, I want to stress, you don't want to copy anything from their site. Do not copy and paste any content. I would also warn you against using the exact same headings, because it'll be very obvious that you have actually copied it from this website, and that's just not cool. It can upset the website owner, and also the people who will be coming to your website will probably see that these two sites have got the exact same headings. So I personally, what I would do is I would just create a subheading that kind of follows the same format, but I would say why quiet mechanical keyboards, and then I would say criteria we've used, and then I would actually talk about each of the criteria, but slightly differently. So my criteria would be quality and reputation, which they don't have here, see? Then my other criteria would be noise levels. They do talk about noise, but if one of them is matching, that's fine. I mean, that's a very logical thing. And then I would talk about price and value for, I would give each one a value for money score. And then I would actually create subheadings for these keyboards that we have gotten from Google suggestions, right? And after I have written all of these, I would see how many more words I need to write to get to the 2,000 word mark. Now, you could also look at all of these other websites and check which exact keyboards they have written about. So for example, Quiet Home Lab, I can see that they've written about the BioStar keyboard, this one here. So potentially I might want to consider including it in my review. Then perhaps I might go into this high consumption and have a look at how have they laid out their article. Maybe I can get some ideas from there as well. And maybe I can get some models that I want to write about from there as well if I'm short after I have written everything else. So hopefully this is making sense. You're basically just doing your research as if you were doing, a university assignment or doing an assignment for work. You just need to do your research and lay out the plan for your article, because it's going to make the actual process of writing the article so much smoother and so much quicker if you have a really good plan up front. Step number 7 is to write the introduction. Let's get moving with writing the actual article. The main task of the introduction is to hook the reader in. You want to make sure that you make them excited to read the rest of the article, and you also want to insert your main 1 or 2 main keywords at the very start, ideally into the first sentence of the introduction, so that Google actually knows what your article is about. All right, I've paused the video and I have actually written the introduction. It does not have to be long. A couple of hundred words, even 100 or 200 words are completely fine for the first bit of the introduction. You can pause the video and read what I have written, but the key things that I want to highlight for you here is that I have put in the main keyword at the very start of this article. You can see I've got quiet mechanical keyboard. I've actually got best quiet mechanical keyboard. So I'm hitting 2 different keywords, quiet mechanical keyboard and best quiet mechanical keyboard. And also in my case, this is 100% true. You might need to find a slightly different angle, but I have actually been looking for a quiet mechanical keyboard. So what I've written is I've spent ages looking for the best quiet mechanical keyboard. It's super hard. There are lots of options. Prices vary so much. And I've decided to write this ultimate guide to help you. You might need to use a slightly different angle, but your job is to hook in the reader right there and then. And you also want to make sure that you mention your 1 or 2 main keywords at the very start of your article. Okay, so that's the intro done. Look at this. We've already got 100 words. We only need to write 2,000. This was super quick and easy. So let's continue. Now all we have to do is follow the outline that we have previously created. So our step 8 is to write the actual article. We just go through and we fill out the bits of the outline that we created in the previous steps. So the first thing that we want to do is to write about why quiet mechanical keyboards. So I literally just copy and paste that in. I want to make this heading 2, and then I want to write a little bit about what is so good about mechanical keyboards and why you need a quiet one. In order for you to write about it, you need to research about it unless you already know what it is. So type that into Google and read up on what are quiet mechanical keyboards. You will be able to find lots of references for any topic. After you have written the sources and you've got a good understanding of it, go back and write this part of your blog post. Okay, so I've paused the video again, another 5 or 10 minutes, and I've written another 150 words. So this is coming together super fast. And you can see that basically I did a little bit of basic research and I've written this. I'm not going to read this for you, but again, I've included a couple of the main keyword a couple of times. You can pause the video and you can read this if you want to see what I have actually written. Then essentially what I would do is insert all of these as headings. I can use subheadings as well. So for example, I can make criteria we've used as heading 2, then write a little bit about the actual criteria that we have used. Because quality and reputation are a subtopic of criteria we've used, when I copy and paste that, I might make it an actual heading 3. So then I'll write a little bit about quality and reputation, why it's an important criteria, noise levels, why it's an important criteria. So let's make that heading 3, and so on. And then just write a little bit in your own words about each of these kind of criteria and topics and subtopics. Then you will want to jump into the first keyword that you're going to review. So if it's going to be Matthias Quiet Pro mechanical keyboard, then we're going to make this heading 2, and then simply head over to Google once again and read about Matthias Quiet Pro mechanical keyboard. All right, so you can go into here, for example, into the source, and you'll want to read and learn a little bit about it, read other reviews, and then write about, say, 200 or 300 words in your own words about the Matthias Quiet Pro mechanical keyboard. Then you will go back and you'll do the same thing for Cherry G83000, same thing for Logitech, and before you know it, you will have an amazing, high quality blog post. Watch this word count. You want to have at least 2,000 because this is what your competitors have. Okay, if your competitors' blog posts are shorter, maybe 1,000 words each, then you only need to write about 1,000 or 1,200 words. Step 9 in writing a high quality blog post is to insert links to authority websites. This is actually going to help your blog post look more authoritative in the eyes of Google, because the internet was built to provide high quality information, and by linking out to other high quality websites from your blog post, you will be positioning your page as a highly researched page that is backing up all of its claims by linking to high authority sources. For example, I might consider linking mechanical keyboards to some kind of a resource that explains what a mechanical keyboard actually is. So I might type in something like mechanical keyboard wiki, and then I can see that there is actually a Wikipedia article talking about keyboards and mechanical keyboards. So you can see here at the top, I've got a link that actually includes the reference to mechanical switch keyboard. So I'm going to take this whole link and I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to highlight these mechanical keyboards and then type in insert edit link, paste that in here, and under link options, I always open external links in a new tab because I don't want the user to actually leave my page if they click on it. And there we go. I've got my first link to a high authority website. I recommend for you to have 3 to 5 links to high authority websites from within your blog post. Step number 10 when you're writing a blog post is to include links to other blog posts on your website. What this will do is it will allow the users that are reading your article to also read some other articles from your blog, and this will mean that your bounce rate for your article as well as for your website overall will go down, and people will stay on your website longer, click on more of your ads, buy more of your affiliate products, and so on. Generally what I do at this stage is I look at my blog and I think what kind of articles are relevant to the article that I'm writing, And here I might want to create a link to how to drive traffic to your blog free and fast. So let's copy the hyperlink to this, and then I will find a good place to insert it in the body of my article. So here in the very first sentence where I'm saying that I can use for work, I might type in while I'm working on my blog. All right, this is not actually stuffing up the flow of the article too much, but then I will highlight my blog and I will insert this in here so that if people want to learn more about my blog and what I do and how I drive traffic, they can click onto this link. So there we go. We've got our first internal link. I recommend to include at least 5, possibly 10, 20 internal links, depending how much other relevant content you have. You can't have too many internal links as long as they don't disrupt the flow of your article. When you have a lot of internal links on your article, this will just give the reader of your article a lot of opportunities to explore more content from your website. And this is good for you. You'll make more money this way, you'll get a lot more page views, and you will sell more of your affiliate products, build a bigger list, etc. One bonus step that I want to tell you about is using Yoast SEO. This is a free plugin and I use it on all of my websites because it is free, first of all, and secondly, because it's actually really helpful in making sure that you have done a lot of the other small on-page SEO. If you expand this SEO analysis, then once you've pasted in the main key phrase that you are targeting in here, Yoast SEO will actually tell you whether you have done all of the things that you need to do. So for example, whether you've included a key phrase in introduction. See, we've got that. So it says, well done. Key phrase length, is it good enough or not? Is the key phrase density good enough or not? So these are all of the things that we've done correctly. Now it's saying that there are some things where we could have an improvement or that we've done incorrectly. And if you click on each of them, it will actually explain to you how to fix it. Now, Yoast SEO is outside the scope of this article or this video, because in this video, we're actually focusing on the process of writing your blog post. But if you do want to learn more about SEO and getting traffic to your website, then make sure that you check the links in the description below. I've got links to some of my best videos that will take you through step-by-step how to do all of that. Now, I'd love to hear from you guys. Have you ever written a blog post before? Is this the first blog post you're writing? Drop me a comment below this video in the comment section and let me know if this is the very first blog post you're writing. Say, yes, this is the very first one. No, I have written blog posts before. I want to know your experience. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video.